Hi guys, my name is Larija Adebowale, and you can see the jersey I'm donning on today. We are calling it the fifth ring. I don't care what haters like Olawale and Kachi have at the back of their head. I don't care. But we are calling it the fifth ring. Jokes apart, but it's a wonderful one in the NBA. Premier League continues. ETH should be sacked. Um, Arsenal are caving under pressure, like we already see, and Liverpool are showing the attitude of champions. These are more we'll be discussing as we delve into the world of basketball, football, and of course, um, our boxing experts is not around, so we're not going to be talking about boxing today. Of course, so it's going to be football and basketball. But before we start, I'll allow the guests to introduce themselves, and they will play a little bit of game before we go on the show. Kashi, I'm going to start with you.
Sports fans, happy to be here again to discuss all things sports with you. I think it's okay for us to say congratulations to LeBron James and the LA Lakers for winning the inaugural in-season tournament. Like James said when he was presented with, not sure if it
The
was
MVP.
with the MVP or when Malika Andrews was interviewing him, that records will be broken. But one thing that no one can take away from you is being the first to do something. Due to the seriousness he has put or the approach he gave to it, I personally think this tournament will be something that other players would aim to win, um, and that would continually drive the interest. We also look forward to the return of our prodigal son, Ja Morant, who would finish his 25 game suspension sometime this week and return to the courts. Let's see if history will repeat itself or if he has turned a new leaf. Stay tuned for a good one.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Kachi. Olali, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. Good day, sporting fans around the world. Welcome to today's edition of our sporting show. It promises to be an interesting show. We have a lot to talk about. The Champions League, the group stage is coming to an end in the middle of the week. The Premier League is into the most busiest month, which is December, and the games are coming thick and fast. The boys are separating themselves from the men. Some people are writing their sack letter already. Um, so a lot of things. NBA, yeah, congratulations to the Lakers, first ever win of the in-season tournament. We delve into that too and some other interesting topics. So join us in the next 1 hour to enjoy the show.
All right, perfect. Of course, like we did last week. Last week it was where did Alisa Gusin play for? I've never heard that question before. But unfortunately, Neyo will be joining us later on the show, but he's not here with us. But we'll try and play a little bit of game before we start the show proper. It's not all seriousness, all the time. Why not try to waste your time? Of course, if you want to join the game, guys, you know where to find us. We're on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Send us DM, and you can be part of the show as well. But for today, I have just four questions. Just four questions, and I'm hoping someone would win between Olawale. So it's going to be head to head between Olawale and Oroku Kochi for this one, and I'm wondering who is going to win this one today. Who do I start with? Let me start with Olawale. Olawale,
Okay.
I'm a player. I played for just two clubs in the entirety of my career. I played for just two clubs in the entirety of my career. I'm a Dutch, um, and I have 219 goals in 281 appearances. Who am I?
Oh, you are a Dutch
I'm a
player,
Dutch. Yeah, played for just two clubs in the entirety of my career.
just two clubs.
Yeah, two senior clubs. I'm not going to tell you the name of the club because that will give away the question. And I
That's
have
that's
219 goals.
difficult. can't
So that I
think
think
of
goals.
any player straight up here, but I think I will go for Marco Van Basten. I think that should be the easiest option.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
Kachi.
Because I know it's not Patrick Kluivert, it's not Van Nistelrooy, it's a striker for you to score that number of goals.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And who else
definitely.
again can do that?
Kachi.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little bit difficult if you ask me. But I'm a midfielder.
Mhm.
I'm Algerian by birth. Algerian by birth. No Star
Mhm.
Word. Algerian
Mhm.
by birth.
It's not
And my
difficult,
last
Joe.
and my last club was Real Madrid.
Midfielder, Algerian by birth. Last club was
Uh-oh.
Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
correct.
now. What else again? What is difficult
That's
in that
not.
one?
That's not difficult. Those are
At all.
all
It's
known
not
Can
facts
difficult.
you
It's
can you, can
easy.
you
Algeria
imagine?
by bet. How many
Can you
Algeria by bet
imagine?
are we?
that are midfielders and played for Real Madrid.
Can you imagine? So I'm too nice. I don't want to be. You guys are
Stop
going to make
joking.
me change my way.
You know,
I'm
you
not
have
that.
to come. You have to come harder than that, though.
Okay. Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay. Olali. Okay, Olali.
Okay.
I'm going to fail this one. I don't care. I'm Italian. I'm Italian.
Italian.
I'm an Italian. I played in the midfield at the start of my career, moved to the defense in the latter part of my career, and ended my career at AC Milan.
Italian.
I'm Italian. I was a midfielder at the start of my career. Then I moved to the defense towards the latter part of my career,
Franco
and I
Baresi.
ended my career at AC Milan.
Franco Baresi.
You are wrong. I told you you're going to fail it because you guys want me to go harder. I was so soft, but you guys made me go harder.
Okay.
Actually,
You
you have
ended
the
your
answer.
career at AC Milan.
Yes, I
You
ended my career
started
at
as
AC
a
Milan.
you started as a midfielder.
Yeah. Then moved into the defense towards the latter part of my career.
I think it's called Carlo Ancelotti.
Correct. So Kachi did it by 2-1. Okay, no. Kachi got the bonus question.
So Kachi will go again.
So Kachi
He
will
has a
go
chance to
again.
make it 3-1.
Kachi. How do I do this one? I can make it easy. I played for Real Mallorca twice. No, it's a mess up. I played for Real Mallorca twice. I started my career in the Nigerian league, and I'm currently 52 years old. Who am I?
Started your career in the Nigerian league. Played
Yes.
for Mallorca twice.
Mm-hmm.
What's the nationality? Am I going to get anything about nationality?
No, I'm not going to give you that. Once I give you that, you get
This is
it.
simple now. Even though I don't know you, but I think the options are you
Very
have
limited. Yeah, that's why I said I messed up by going with the first thing to catch it.
That Nicky has already given you the limited options.
I did not say it's a Nigerian, no. I never said it's a Nigerian.
Story.
How many Nigerians played for Mallorca?
That's the problem. Even me, I'm finding it difficult to remember.
I can only think of one person, but I don't think he started out in Nigeria. And it's not even Nigeria. And he did not play for Mallorca twice.
Yeah, so.
I'm stumped, actually. I was going to say Samueleto, but I can't think of it.
Thank God you are stuck. So,
yeah.
So probably we have a tie.
Yeah, we'll probably have a tie.
Olali, who am I?
It is not Finidi.
No.
It is not Mutiu Adepoju.
No.
He started his career in Nigeria.
Yes. Nigerian League. And he played for Mallorca.
And he played in Mallorca twice.
The first stint was
Christopher played in Compostela.
Olale, do you
I'm
have an
trying to
answer?
read the
Yes or
options.
no?
Wait now. Ha.
So it was actually the question was actually difficult, right? That is
Wow.
difficult, right?
Meji Lawal.
Wrong. You got the answer, but you missed it by being over calculative. He's feeding the judge. He played first for
Ow!
Mallorca in
He didn't play for
2000.
Mallorca. It was Betis, sir.
It was
No,
Betis now.
he played for Betis from 96 to 2000, moved to Mallorca in 2000, 2001, then returned back to Mallorca in 2004 after he stayed with Ipswich Town. So, Olakukachi,
Still
Are you
leading.
congratulations.
serious?
Wow, I didn't know that fact. I've always seen him as a Betis man.
No, he played for
Honestly,
Mallorca twice.
I thought he left Betis for England. Oh,
No, he played for Mallorca. I think he played against Arsenal in the 2000 UEFA Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Meji George.
But honestly, before today, I did not know he returned back to Mallorca after leaving Ipswich. I knew he played for Mallorca.
That's true. He played
The-
for
the
Mallorca
only-
one season, 2000,
the-
2001.
Yeah.
And returned there in 2004 to play 14 games. Holy
What
crap.
would have given it away would have if I said he played for Sharks. You guys would have known that.
Definitely,
Sharks-
I would
Sharks
know
have
about
been
the
given
judge.
now.
Anyways,
Mhm.
let's go into the show proper. And like I said, if you want to be part of the show, you want to be part of this game, let us know. Wow, we'll be able to invite you to the show and to the game itself. Lale, let's start with the Champions League and the matches that have concern right now to us. First to be the Manchester United game at Old Trafford against Bayern Munich. Man U losing 3-0 against Bournemouth at home. It sounds emphatic and rings alarm bells. If we are sincere with ourselves, Bayern basically have nothing to lose. They've qualified already. They might be doing Man U United a favor. And don't forget, Bayern lost over the weekend against Frankfurt 5-1.
And they want to redeem themselves.
And they might probably want to redeem themselves. Or might be like, let's just rest players. We really don't need this one. Let the kids play this one and let's see how it pans out. But United, you never know. The kids are Bayern of equal talents with the professionals at Bournemouth. So you can't give United the
Upper
reins
hand here.
exactly just yet. But Ali, how do you think this is going to pan out?
Well, unfortunately, everything is pointing towards Eric Ten Hag getting the sack. It will take a miracle for him to survive this. And the most unfortunate thing for me is it's not even about after, let me say, a bit of encouraging victory midweek against Chelsea. And I don't envy Ten Hag for one reason. One of the as much as one of the problem he's facing is he's desperate to get the results, and he has practically abandoned his own philosophy for results, and that could explain the reason why week in week out, for all the goals McTominay gets, pumping as in getting to the box, scoring all those goals in the midfield, as a midfielder itself, is a player who gets lost easily. I'm not trying to scapegoat him. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying just to make reference to the desperation on for a coach that how could he just bench a player who have been giving him a couple of goals in recent games, but at the same time who is a liability to him in terms of being a possession, like as a coach who is a possession-based coach. So I think he has lost the plot at this stage because for me, I think we are in a rebuilding phase. Even when the results are not forthcoming, when you could, if you are, you could be encouraged with the style. You understand when you that okay, even though the wins are not there, but again, the team is kind of playing with an identity. Yes, you can have support, but when you look at it, you could just you can just ask yourself, when season 2 is worse than season 1, I think after season 1 you have a lot of time, a lot of more information to have improved on your what do you call it? Even if it's not improvement in standing, at least in the total point and what do you call it, and style of play. But it
Yeah.
seems everything has regressed, and I think you can trace all those things back to most of the signings in the summer, from Mason Mount to
Mason.
probably to I don't want to give Rasmus Højlund the what do you call it,
Stakes.
the stick, but I just felt like, for me, I think most people what do you call it, overstated. There is this they overrated the United problem in terms of goal scoring, which I think it was not really the biggest issue. The biggest issue was even them creating those quality chances, which I think that should have been the focus this year. City has proven it to us in the past few years, and I think if you create quality chances, even if you don't have the strikers, one way or the other, the goals will come. But if you don't create chances, there is no way you are going to score. So I just think a whole lot of things. It's just
this is end of. You think this is the end of the road for Man U?
Yeah, of course. I think it's the end of the road for him. I think United is going to lose against Bayern. I think Bayern wants to redeem themselves. I'm not sure they can win the Bayern game. I think they are going to lose at Liverpool, which I think will accumulate to Eric Ten Hag probably getting sacked by next Monday. I honestly don't see beyond that. Personally, honestly, I don't see beyond that.
But is a cat with that life
anyway. I don't think the management, especially with what do you call it, Jim probably coming on board. I don't know whether it's going to be this week, and I'm sure they will probably want to go with their own. And there has been rumor that it's going to be in charge of footballing decisions.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, I think that period, as in losing against Bayern and Liverpool, would present them the easiest chance to do away with. But again, they could if they are looking at the financial implications, if the financial implication is so much important to them, they might probably want to wait a little bit, because I know United will probably pay a lot to get a coach sacked in the second season. So I think those are just the dynamics. For me, I think he's primed to be sacked by next Monday.
Okay. Kachi, do you feel the same way like Olali? You are basking in the affair of winning your first championship on the show. Congratulations to you. But do you visually feel the same way like Olawale does? That this is the end of the road. I feel
maybe I'm not. Okay. Maybe I'm not. Sorry, I'm cutting you short, but maybe I'm not as pessimistic as Olawale is with the fact that we're about to see the end of ETH's tenure in Manchester. However, I agree that Bayern, for pride, and we'll take care of business against United on match day 5. I definitely know that is I definitely know that is the end of the road for Man U in the Champions League. But I don't want to look 2 games ahead and say that would also be that they are in for a drubbing at the hands of Liverpool. We know that is a hated game. Somehow United tends to elevate their game. Yes, they may come on stock like they came on stock against City, but they try to put in an extra 10-15% than they have done in the past.
But let me jog your memory. The last time it was 7-0.
It was 7-0. Yeah, it's almost like saying there was a time as Wenger went to Old Trafford and conceded 8 goals as well. The past is the past. It only counted for 3 points. It did not lead to the disassembling of Manchester United. They are still there as a club, as a franchise. We can erase that. One thing players must have is the mind or the brain of a goldfish. That is the ability to forget the really bad ones once you have taken the lesson learned from it and move ahead. I do think that Ratcliffe would want to give ETH a chance. especially because of the financial implication. You don't want to pay that much money, and the first thing you are doing as a new owner or as a new investor is to be shelling out more money um, to, 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 to change a coach. That's one. The second one is who really is out there right now that United can go for, either on the interim basis or even on a permanent basis. I don't think we have a lot of options. So, and that's looking forward. But to the game at hand, I think
Yeah.
it's adios, sayonara, end of the road. Uh, Bayern definitely needs to get the fans back on their side. And what better way to do it than to take care of business at Old Trafford? I do know it's at the theatre of dreams, but I definitely think if Bournemouth can go in there and do what they did over the weekend, Bayern are a lot more clinical side. And I think Harry Kane obviously still wants to show United that this is what you are missing. You should have paid the initial asking amount when Daniel Levy asked for that money, and this is what you should have been getting. So Bayern to cover this, and United to say goodbye to Europe.
To Europe. Goodbye to Europe. Goodbye, my lover. I don't know if you guys remember that song. I'm looking at Sheikh Jassim right now, and I'm wondering why we don't have a new owner at Manchester right now. That will have made a whole lot of difference, not just for the club, but for the fans and the the upliftment of the club as well. Let's see what Sir Jim Radcliffe will be able to do in football, in pure footballing terms, to the club. I know he's a fan of the club, and that should count for so much when you're a fan of the club. And moving away from that will be the game between Sociedad and Inter Milan. They gives us the chance to see who wins the table in their group, right? And it goes a long way. If Benfica was a surprise team of last season, Real Sociedad are showing that they are the surprise team of the season. Right now, they currently stand on top of the table, given their head-to-head. Kachi, what should we expect from this one? Inter Milan versus Real Sociedad at San Siro. Oh, I should not be asking you.
Uh,
Just beef Inter
uh,
Milan again.
no. I'm going to be pretty objective here. Yes, Sociedad has totally impressed. But I think I'm not even going to dwell too much. I think Inter has more than enough in their arsenal to take care of this. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk, but I think Inter does enough to win and secure first spots in this group. Inter to win
Okay.
this for me.
Okay, Olale, do you agree it's going to be an Inter one, or we'll see Kubo and Zubi Mendy doing one
Then
over
to
Inter
remain
Milan?
the Kubus, to
Yeah.
remain the some couple of unknown guy. I think I've watched two of their games against the Red Bull team, and I was very
Okay.
impressed with what I saw. I think it's a game that has a had it draw written all over it.
Draw written over it.
Yes. I think
Okay.
both team will try to win it, and I think it's going to end in a stalemate.
God. Oh my God. That's going to be bad. If you come out top of your group and they give Inter
And you
Milan
have
for
to
crying
face
out
it
loud.
down the line.
You have to pay Inter Milan second round. What's the essence of being first? Honestly. And of course, it's going to be a busy one for Napoli against Braga as well. Currently, Napoli sits second, not comfortably, and Braga is fourth. The outcome of this match might turn things around for Napoli. Napoli have not been in a good run of form of late. Kachi, are you comfortable with this one for Napoli that they are going to defeat Braga?
Mm,
All things being equal, or Victor
not
Osimhen
co-
is not banking the goals, but this
no.
is Diego Armando Maradona Stadium in Napoli, so in Naples, so it should count for
Uh,
something.
it's not just Victor Osimhen that has not been, you know, playing up to standard. I think the entire Napoli team, and that's really what Pep Guardiola always says, that there's always that fear, that risk of players resting on their laurels. I'm not saying they are really, but that is what is looking like they are doing right now. I'm not sure if they are not buying into what Maziri is selling right now. And I mean, the results say they are probably not punching up to their weight, up to their standard. But it's the Champions League. It's probably one way they get to redeem themselves, especially with what is happening in Syria. All that being said, I think as much as Braga has been exciting to watch, they've also shown that they have a gaping flaw that I believe Napoli is well equipped to take advantage of. Napoli is more physical, a little bit more experience playing in Europe, navigating up. I believe they got to the quarterfinals. Yes, losing to Milan. So experiences count in this type of thing. So while it won't be the barnstorming performances we've seen from Napoli in the past, I think they have enough in them to see this one through. So I will give it to them.
Okay, Malali, do you agree with Kachi on this one?
I think Napoli's problem has been inconsistency. They went to Germany, they got the win. I think that is in match day 3, and we expect them to consolidate on that on match day 4, but they could only they end up drawing. So I think I have a bit of concern, especially when you go into an elimination game. At times it goes beyond how good you are. Your mental strength, ability have to come in. I don't think it's going to be. I think they are going to qualify, but I don't see them winning. I think it's going to be a very tricky game for them, and it's probably end in a draw. But
okay. All right, and of course, the big one will be the group updates, where we have the every pointers, Dortmund against PSG. This is not what we're expecting at the start of the season when we're doing our preview. But it's going to be Dortmund against PSG. Dortmund over the line already. PSG, Martins Beniko, get a good result, and they'll definitely cross the line as well, especially if they can manage to win. Even if they draw, they might still qualify as well. Newcastle are home against Milan. It's a tricky one. Newcastle got dropped 4-1. Thank you. I'm looking at you, Karen Tipia, and of course, Jamal Access for giving me -1 each. So you guys actually gave me -2 on my FPL. Thank you very much for doing that to me. So I hope you guys lose cardinally against that to cement your woes and don't qualify for anything. It's going to be a bad job, and they've probably feel hard done by if Newcastle, for how they play so far in the Champions League, don't get anything in Europe, at least an Europa Cup qualification. But it's good. It's a pretty tough one. Just one game, just one spot left for the next round. Kachi, are you confident enough to say PSG have a strong, like they have their fingers wrapped around this one? Or we'll see something different with Milan.
No, in this case, it doesn't matter what PSG does if Newcastle wins, right? So rather than look at PSG, I will look at Newcastle. I don't think the Milan team they are going to face will be strong enough to put up 30 fights. As sad as it sounds, and I probably shouldn't be the one saying this, please don't revoke my AC Milan membership if the Milanistas are listening. But there's so much problem, so much happening with Milan right now that their cohesiveness has been lost. Bringing in close to 8 players has distorted the chemistry and the rhythm of that team. And I think Newcastle will take advantage of it. Newcastle will just adopt the same approach against PSG, which is just play as if you're playing a Premier League team. Let it be fast-paced, non-stop. It's 90 minutes straight. And I think Newcastle has enough to do that. Now, back to the question you actually asked me. I really don't think it matters. I do think, however, that PSG will up their game here and get the result they need to give them at least the semblance of a chance. But unfortunately, it will be too little, too late, because I think Newcastle will take care of business.
Okay, well, Ali, do you think Newcastle is going to take care of business as well, or Milan could actually do something and PSG have this one figured out?
Everything in this group, this group is so complicated. Newcastle can do all the good jobs, and Dortmund can decide just to play the spoiler. And I think Milan still has a chance too on their own part to qualify.
Yeah.
Does Milan have enough motivation to go to St. James's Park and kill off the Newcastle spirit? I'm not sure. Newcastle have had some bad games of recent, but again, you can understand the games were away from home, away to Everton, away
Yeah.
to
Tottenham Hotspur.
Spurs. But
Yes.
they are a different animal when it comes to home game. We all know that they fed on the, what do you call it, on the
But
energy
the
of the
energy of
fans,
this St. Jesus Park.
and
Yeah.
expect the St. James's fans to bring that on, what do you call it, on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wilson is back,
Mm-hmm.
Isaac is there, so they have a bit of option in attack. I just have the feeling they are going to beat Milan. I have that feeling that they are going to beat Milan. But the
And the
biggest question
PSG.
I think remains with Dortmund. I have a feeling Dortmund is going to do PSG a favor, and PSG is going to get whatever they needed in, what do you call it. I'm very
In
sorry.
Germany.
In as much as I want Newcastle to qualify, something tells me that PSG is going to get the result in Germany. Dortmund just look like that club that, when Yoruba said in your body. Yeah, I don't know whether
Yeah.
I think they look like
Yeah.
that club that will just give in like that for PSG to.
Yeah. To
I
qualify.
think I'm going for Dortmund PSG.
Okay, all right. Perfect. Thank you very much for that. And from there, we'll move directly to the English Premier League, where we have a couple of results in the league. Some disappointing, some emphatic, some looking very good. The most emphatic one that we had over the weekend is the game between Fulham and West Ham. I can pretty much put up my hands and tell you I was not expecting a 5-0 thrashing of West Ham by Fulham. Of course, another one would be Tottenham Hotspur doing 4-1 over Newcastle. Richarlison
Mhm.
scoring two of the goals, and Chelsea. I don't know what is wrong with that club, but whatever it is, it looks is not settling, and Everton are coming back gradually with this way that Everton are playing right now. They are off the bottom of the table, like the relegation table right now. They have 13 points. That's about 4 more than
You
their
know,
closest
if you had your 10
rival.
points, they for supporting you.
Yeah, if you had their 10 points, they will be 10th right now
If you
in the
had
league.
their 10 point
But
deduction, they should be around 11 in the league or
they are
10.
going to be 10th. They are going to be 10th as a matter of fact. And you look at on the other side of the table, and you are seeing Chelsea with just 19 points out of 16 games. And this is it's not looking better, it's not looking sweeter, it's not looking juicier. It gets worse by the day. Actually, I'm going to start with you. Pochettino, honestly, I'm more for Pochettino continuing. I don't want them to sack Pochettino because of they need a little bit of continuity right now. Most of their guys or most of the players that they have right now are no names. They're not the big names. And sacking the coach and starting all over again will just draw them back maybe another 1 2 years. But Pochettino is not making the job easy for anyone. He's
Mm.
looking lost on the bench. The players are looking clueless on the pitch. Come with a spirited 4-4 game against Man City. Following week, they are losing. Lose
Mhm.
against Manchester United with so much chances created. Following week against Everton, for crying out loud, you are losing. If you are losing against Everton, what now becomes of you? So it begs the question. And I don't know if you differ from my own opinion. I think Poch should still stay at least to the end of the season. They are not going to get relegated. They should forget about the season and try to build on whatever it is that Poch is doing. But Poch is not giving us that confidence that he's actually building something. I'm looking at Poch and I'm thinking about his Southampton team before he left for sports. That was a terrific team. They had a style of play. They have the wave of energy. But I'm not seeing that at Chelsea right now. Is he a cultural problem at Chelsea? Is he a coaching problem of Poch? Is he the expectations we are putting on Chelsea? Is he overwhelming? Among other things.
Unlike United, I don't think it's a cultural thing. I think it's a knowledge thing. An owner has come who does not know how to manage a European football team. So it's a personnel issue, but not on the field of play. It is outside in the administrative and management aspect. I think that's the issue. Because once you get that right, that is when you can now start to say, okay, looking at the DNA of management, the technical team, you can tell that they will give a coach time to do what they need to do, or they will be, because there's one thing that American sports is known for, and that is them wielding the axe after it's a run of poor results. They are never afraid to do it. Go to NBA, go to even NHL, the hockey league. Coaches are sacked 3 games, 4 games, 5 games into an 82-game season.
Wow.
So the appetite for error is very, very slim
limited
for most American sports. So the fear here is, has Bola brought that same appetite into running Chelsea now? I don't know. I'm not sitting here to tell you that is what I've seen. But if that is what they brought in, then definitely Pochettino does not stand a chance. He will be let go, and the circus will continue right now. I definitely think what Chelsea needs, to your point, stability. Stability. The coach has to know that I have 2 years. I have 3 years.
Exactly.
And judge me after 3 years. Don't judge me now, because I inherited most of these players. There are too many players in the books that I probably would not have gone for. So I do think that, yes, the coach needs to stay. But I can't sit here and tell you that they will do that, because I don't yet know what the DNA of management outside football really is right now, between Bola and whoever he has surrounded himself with. Chelsea obviously is not doing enough.
Actually, why are you modeling his name? His name is Todd Bodley now. Why are you calling him Bola?
I'm a Bola me, because he's behaving like Bola. My young brother, they sent me a text message. Yeah,
you're sounding static now.
Going back to
you're sounding static, Kachi.
Quick.
Okay, sure. Now you have to unmute yourself.
What their appetite will be like.
Okay, yeah.
Run well. Are they seeing it as a cash grabber? If they are seeing it as a cash grabber, then we are going to see what happened or what is happening in United now, where they really don't care what the results of the field of play is, as long as they can repatriate profit or whatever back to the United States. But I totally hope that that's not the case. Chelsea right now is not breeding confidence. Chelsea is not even, the performance has been more inconsistent than Arsenal's performance has been, or maybe even United's performance. We've been deriding United, but they've been consistent in playing bad. Chelsea gives you the false hope, and then you expect that they build on that, and then the next thing they take 3 steps forward.
Yeah.
So it really is not going to be Pochettino. But once Pochettino is looking behind him, then you are going to see Chelsea unravel more. But if they assure him that he has that stability, 2-3 years, we might start to see a team that plays in the image of Mauricio Pochettino.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Olani. And I know I sound like a broken record when I say these things, but I'll keep using the case of Mikel Arteta and probably Sir Alex Ferguson himself, they had the chance. They were given the opportunity to make their mistakes, correct those mistakes. They don't have to look behind their shoulders like, okay, I'm seventh or eighth this year. I'm getting the sack. And this is what I would want to see at Chelsea as well. Do you agree, or we should categorize Poch with ETH and say, okay, it's about time? And don't forget one thing: this is still December. The league does not end until May. A lot of things could change before then. Alali.
Okay, so after the game against City, when they had that impressive 4-4 draw, I
Yeah.
made mention of it. I made mention of the fact that I am impressed with what seen of Chelsea, at least against the big squad, against the big teams.
Big teams, yeah.
They've shown that they have the heart to go head to head. They've shown that they have a style of play that works. And like I rightly said, I said I'm comparing them to the early days of Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, where you see them playing very well against the big team and might likely struggle against the middle table team. I still think Chelsea are on the right path. I think they will find that consistency over time. I don't think we should model them with the case of United. I think
I couldn't help it, Olawale. I'm sorry.
like Kachi said, I think the United case is more complicated. About there is a cultural problem. I don't know whether you were able to if you whether you read the interview that Matic granted in the middle of the week, where he stated getting late to training is like a norm in United, and Pogba are like perennial, what do you call it, late comers. So you could see the cultural standard in United is low. So what is accepted as, so a lot of things is, but I think Chelsea are a little bit different. And I think Pochettino has probably, for me, if you can show me those in those big games that you can stand toe to toe, I think it's just a matter of time and probably one or two signings at most to figure out. Because sincerely, the only way for you to do well in the league is by beating those teams you're expected to beat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Mauricio Pochettino should not be under any pressure, any sort of pressure for now. I think they should allow him to make whatever mistake he's going to make this season.
Yeah.
And build a proper team going into next season. I think that's my honest opinion. But again, if whether that is what the ownership is going to do, I don't know. For now, I've not really studied the man to know this is a pattern
exactly,
or this is the way of doing things. So, but I think common sense should come in and should allow Pochettino at least 3 years
to prevail
for him to set up his team.
All right, perfect. And the Ireland less Man City won against Luton away from home 2-1. Luton is becoming a hard ground for most teams. Arsenal, no thanks to Javier, barely survived at Luton City in the middle of the week. United, against all odds, lost at Old Trafford against Bournemouth. That's the most underwhelming performance. Should I say results? Liverpool showed spirit, guile, and effort as they come back from a goal down to defeat Crystal Palace away from home. That's not the Selhurst Park is not a good hunting ground for most big teams. Brighton and Hove continue their unimpressive run of form with a 1-1 draw against Burnley at home. Arsenal caved yet again against Aston Villa, losing 1-0. It's a sad situation where you see an Arsenal team when they are faced with the first challenge. And this is a game that should have won. Honestly, if you ask me, they should have won this game if things could get better. Lali, I will just ask you a question. I look at the Arsenal team. I think someone, Okwe Fisheton, actually said something about this. He said Arsenal is missing a piece in their jigsaw, and that's a potent striker. When you have a striker that comes out and say, "Oh, see, I'm a striker, but I don't know how to score," then there's a problem. And that guy is supposed to guarantee you 25 goals. And the backup is going to be Eddie Nketiah, that should be playing for maybe Leeds United. It's no disrespect or slight on Eddie Nketiah, but what the ambition of Arsenal does not match the players that they have right now. They have in some particular positions. Sorry about that. Olali, do you think it's a problem as well, or do you think it's being over elaborated by the Arsenal fans in regards to Uzu's not getting on the scoring consistently, and Eddie Nketiah being the backup guy for him? Because I know for a very good striker, he could have made a whole lot of difference for Arsenal in this game, because they just pop up with their positional sense, and whatnot. Go ahead, sorry, Olali.
Okay, so I think a couple of things.
Okay.
Yeah, way the way most teams play, they play now. In as much as you have a center forward that is expecting to score goals, I think the goals is more of a responsibility of probably the front three. These were like the wingers of today are not the conventional wingers of yesterday. They are more of like supporting strikers. They have to chip in the goals. They have to do this.
Okay.
I think Martinelli has not scored enough this season for a starting left winger for me. And looking at his record from the previous 2 seasons, I think in terms of goal scoring, he has not really done too well. Saka probably fine. I think the team as a whole have not really maximized their attacking potential. It could be a fault. It could be the structure, the way they are organized, or anything. I think they still have one or two level offensively that they can reach that they've not reached. Is it probably because they want to? At times in football, at times getting the right balance is probably the biggest. Is probably the biggest
The
problem.
biggest issue. Yeah.
Issue trying to be that attacking force at the same time, not giving out too many chances. So beyond, I think Arsenal have they have, what do you call it? A Zeus problem, but at the same time, I think the team as a whole have not really inspired me in terms of
their potential. They've not maximized their potential.
As attacking potential, I think they've not maximized the attacking potential, and I think we need to see more of Leandro Trossard getting involved more in the team. Like what I'm not saying I'm expecting him to start, but if I say I'm expecting him to get more involved, I'm expecting him to get more minutes. I expect him to get more, as in more roles that the team attacking wise. So I think Mikel Arteta has a job to do, and at the same time, I think he's not out of place because, like, I'm a good believer in Jesus, but I think a lot of his game has really changed over during his time at City, probably for the good of the City team, but not for the good of the player. It happens like that. You find yourself in. I think we saw the same thing about Mikel. Yes, Chelsea got what they probably wanted from him, but for the player himself, you probably felt like that wasn't really what that player had a better potential. So I think he's a Zeus, the same Jesus that left Brazil, who was more of a goal scorer. I think it's not the same thing again. That same Jesus would have been better if a Saka and probably Martinelli are in the shape of a player like Heung-min Son, who even when playing by the flank, they have that
goal scoring ability to chip in.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in that case, I think Arsenal need a dominant forward. I agree with that. I think they need to solve that. I think their season can still be a very good season. I don't know if they have that ball to go for an Osimhen, or is him. I don't know. A lot of people have talked about Tony. Is he still going to be sharp? Or so those are the questions. But I agree. I think they need to solve a a Gabriel Jesus problem. Is
All
last
right.
season was even better. This season doesn't look like a guy that will guarantee you 16 goals, 7 in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the
All
same time, I still think the team as a whole is still not well
right. Giving
maximized.
us that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Giving us that vibe. Yeah. All
so
right. Perfect. And to another astonishing one would be Sheffield United defeating Brentford. Brentford are missing Boemo. I think he's injured right now. We don't know when he's going to come back. The league in the snipe or the snippet, and I'm sorry, all kudos to Good Evening to Emery for what he has done. 15th consecutive home game win at Aston Villa. They've not done this since 1988 when they won the league, the old English league. And is sitting comfortably at the on the top position ahead of Manchester City, as a matter of fact, Tottenham Hotspur, United, and Newcastle. And when you talk about money spent, you can't compare this guy to money spent by all these things. Liverpool, 37 points on top of the league. Arsenal closely following, 1 point off on 36. Impressive defensive record by Arsenal and Liverpool. They've considered least in the league, 15 points apiece in the league. And the statistics for the players, we still have the guys, the usual culprit, which is going to be Erling Haaland, Mo Salah, and Silme Horn. And for the assists is Karen Tapia, Mo Salah, and Pedro Neto, like we discussed last week. I would jump straight to the NBA right now. Tachi is a ring. Don't tell me it's a trophy. It's a ring. It's not a medal. 5 rings.
the cup.
We are nearing your goats. We are we are nearing your goat. Big kudos to the Lakers. LeBron, according to Doc Rivers, said it's just so easy for him. The way he played against the New Orleans Pelicans, the Pelicans was so impressive. 4 logo shots, 3-point shoots, shot from LeBron on the night. He played 22 minutes, 31 points. I can't remember the number of rebounds. I think 5 rebounds and 5 assists as well. Of course, records is always broken in the NBA, so I'm not so surprised. The oldest guy to do that in the history of the NBA. And he won the MVP in the tournament as well. And Akachi, I believe, I'm not sure it was you. I don't know. I'm not sure it was Olawale. When Mourinho won the Europa Conference League, one of you mentioned the fact that he gave credence to that trophy. LeBron and Lakers winning this gives credence. Maybe if it was a small franchise like say Detroit Pistons or say I don't know whoever, like oh okay, it's just one of those things. But this give credence to it. LeBron is setting the pace for this. How are we now in the mood? Because at the start of the season, I did not even understand. And he brought playoff into the NBA in December. Playoff move to the NBA in December. What game series? I'm not sure those guys will have defeated the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not sure Lakers can survive Phoenix over a 7-game series, but just one, like the Yoruba will say it, Ajibu. And the defensive ability of the Lakers was so superlative, was so admirable. Like, okay, this is and the problem that we are seeing at the start of the season, the momentum is shifting towards the right side of the bell curve as against the left side of the bell curve. I just want to know if you agree with me before I go to Olawale and your overall assessment of this guy in the course of the play and of course Tyrese Haliburton.
Okay, thanks, Debo. I think first let's say congratulations once again to the Lakers. This was a well-deserved victory or trophy. Well-deserved because they did not lose a single game, either in the group stage and ultimately in the knockout stage to get here. Also because the Lakers have been known to be trailblazers, and there is if they had called Adam Silver to say, give us 2 teams that you would like to be the inaugural winners of this tournament, to give it the weight you hope it carries. The two names will be the Lakers or the Celtics. So Adam Silver, and by extension, the NBA got a major boost because typically October to December coincides with the NFL season, which is the biggest sport in America. And typically, you don't find basketball enthusiasts tuning in or getting as much interest on the first 25, 30 games of the season. What the IST has helped do, or what the IFC helped do this time around, was to bring that interest. In the semifinal games against the Pelicans, the Lakers sold out the arena in Las Vegas. Over 18,000 people came to watch them in a city that does not have a franchise. The finals, obviously, we don't want to talk about that. I want to say more about the nature of the Lakers winning as against whether they are trending, because I agree with you, they are indeed trending in the right direction. They still have Gabe Vincent to come back, who will be another two-way player, good defensively, but also a perimeter threat. In Rui Hachimura, in Cam Reddish, and in Anthony Davis, they played. They have the length, and they executed using that length to keep Tyrese out. I think they asked LeBron or AD, and he said their approach was to always have two people on Tyrese. So we didn't really see, because what the Pacers enjoy is to make the game very fast-paced, moving, ebbing and flowing. The Lakers stopped that from happening. Another key fact is they tapped into their physical nature. 86 out of the 123 points were scored in the paint. The Lakers only attempted 13 three-point shots, even though they made only 2. They quickly jettisoned it and realized, hey, let's attack the paint. They got the Pacers defenders into foul trouble very early, such that they couldn't be on the court or on the floor for a long stretch, because they had to preserve them, considering the foul trouble they were in. AD told some of the young guys, because this was also a good way to provide playoff atmosphere experience.
Exactly.
These players, many of them have not experienced this before. Rui said AD told him, I'm not sure if it was Rui or the other center, that watch me enter game 7 mode, and he showed it. So this was a plus for the Lakers, the same way it was a plus for the Pacers and also for the NBA. I do think they are trending in the right direction. However, let's give credit to LeBron James for his interest, because he bought into it really quickly. And we saw LeBron buying into it, because let's not forget, the same LeBron, as soon as he said, hey, I would like to go to the Olympics, we saw how many players from to KD, everybody saying, yes, we would also like to go into the Olympics. So for me, the biggest thing is, this guy was 18 years old. You gave him the keys to the franchise of the NBA. 21 years later, he still has not relinquished the key. Rick Carlisle, the coach of the Pacers, says he doesn't know why people think he's on the latter part of his career. He believes LeBron is in his prime. He played like someone who is in his prime. Whether this lends some more ammunition for the GOAT debate, I don't know. What I do know, however, is LeBron has done something that ultimately, that MVP award will be ultimately named after him 10, 15 years after he retires. Kudos to the Lakers for doing this, and what a great advertisement for NBA.
Yeah, perfect. You couldn't have said it better, Gachi. Fantastic words there. Olali.
Yeah.
Your overall thought on this. Go ahead.
So, when the idea was, first of all, I think when it came out, I think 2 or 3 years ago, you wonder, like, how is it going to work? Already, the NBA, they have
it's clustered already.
82 games. How is it going to work? Is it going to be a different game entirely? I think the biggest thing for this was the creativity out of the idea of still allowing those games to count as a regular season game. I think what we will see going forward from now on is players would take the calendar very well, because I think a lot of players didn't really. I'm not saying that some teams didn't take it serious. I think a lot of teams took it serious, but like what you will see in most uh in a one elimination game is, if you don't come with your best on that night,
Yeah.
it's all over. But I
Tactical
think what we
management.
see going forward next season is a lot of people taking their calendar to
Yeah.
know exactly when those in-season tournament games will really, so that psychologically they'll be in for
They'll
it.
be more prepared.
You have to give it to LeBron, like Kachi rightly said. As a leader of the league, it's like setting the tune. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying probably the likes of Steph Curry and the other guys didn't take it. I think genuinely, a lot of guys took it serious. But again, I think you could see that desire on his own part, probably to win it. And to be fair to them, they beat the teams that are in front of them. And looking at the bigger picture, I don't know the trade teams are going to make. I think the Lakers should be confident about their chances in the Western Conference going into the playoffs. I know a one-off game is different from a 7-game series. I understand that fact.
Yeah.
But I think what they do best is their defense. That is their, what do you call it? That is the unique selling point for this team. Jerry we've seen that how important this guy, what was his name? Vanderbilt is to this team defensively. And I think the Lakers did the smart thing. I hope they continue with that trend. Instead of jacking up unnecessary three, you have to take advantage of a lot of mismatch. When you have a small defender on Anthony Davis or LeBron James, you just have to go with them at the paint rather than trying to jack up unnecessary three. And so I think they have a recipe for success for the season. So I think they should enjoy their moments. And I think the younger players, let me say the players that earn little in most of these teams, now we have a way of gingering their star players, because all those guys that are on the two-way contract of $300,000, like LeBron said, the guys were asking him, when is their check coming?
When do we get paid?
where are they paid? So
why the 500K coming in?
Even in the corporate world, you getting annual pay of $500,000 is a big dream. So that's to show you what it will mean to a lot of players on rotation. They know it's a whole lot, and I think you will see more. I think this tournament is going to grow more over the years, especially by the time the NBA probably moves to 32 franchise. By the time they introduce 2 more franchise, I think you will have something that is very close to a UEFA Champions League format of four teams in each group. Which will make you see at least 2 teams qualifying for it, because we had a lot of teams that dropped out all because of they finished second and they had and I think another biggest victory to this is the point differential that we've seen that made a lot of late games. In the NBA, when you are losing by 20 points, team just
relax, remove all your big guys.
You understand? But now people want to score as many points as possible. Nobody is winding down the clock again. So it's giving those games a little bit of different feel, which I think is very good for the sport.
All right. Perfect. Now, of course, Kyrie on his heels. There's no definite knowledge as of now how long he's going to be out for, and if he's going to be out at all. Luka, don't forget, he gave birth to his daughter from his fiancée. I believe a week or 2 weeks ago. Tyrese Haliburton is a big name. The Sacramento Kings, they shite their pants on this one. New York Knicks shite their pants, missing out on this one as well. This is a guy, a family guy, a down-to-earth guy, and it could eventually be one of those guys that would take Because come think of it, KD, Steph, and the rest they are winning out of they are, all those guys will not be LeBron. We can't expect them to do what LeBron is doing. So they will win out pretty soon. And these are the guys that will take over. And on the MVP conversation, I know it's pretty early, but it's something that we still need to talk about just for the sake of it.
Mhm.
Kachi, I'm going to start with you right now with what we're seeing so far in the league, in the in tournaments, in season tournament as well. Your top three for the MVP shouts so far.
Top three. The truth is, there's no way I will not leave someone out.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Embiid has continued from where he left off last year.
Last season, yeah.
I think it was also the first time that two players in the same franchise would have 40-point games either back to back between him and Tyrese Maxey. Definitely Embiid has done that. You cannot take away what LeBron is doing as well in his at age 21,
Year 21.
still averaging close to 24 to 27 points per game.
Mhm.
Jokic is the usual suspect. It's almost becoming the same thing that happened to LeBron is happening to Jokic now, which is Jokic fatigue. We're no longer seeing anything special in what he did, and that is what cost LeBron 2 more regular season MVPs. People just got tired of seeing greatness. So on that basis, I will put it that way. I would say Embiid, Jokic, and LeBron third. Honorable mention, of course, to what Tyrese Haliburton is doing. It's hard to say. Chet Holmgren has been amazing, even though he's a rookie. SGA as well has been showing. So the OKC boys have been doing well. Right now, I know that I'm leaving a name out. I probably have gone with the safe bets, but in that particular order, it will be Embiid, Jokic, and LeBron.
For you. All right, perfect. Malali, what about you? The MVP shout so far this season.
I think I agree with Kachi with the Embiid. I think he has really stepped up a lot, especially with the departure of what do you call it? James Eden.
Of your friend.
With the departure of James Eden to the Clippers. For me, I think the top tie is actually Jokic and Embiid. Probably for me about LeBron, it depends on can they continue with this playoff mood. I think I expect a bit. I'm expecting a bit of drop off in their performance a little bit. But I think I'll put LeBron and probably Giannis on the second tie.
Oh, what about you guys? Did not mention Luka. Why? Luka just broke a record recently, and Luka has been on fire.
Luka has not. He has not done. He has.
I think my problem with Luka is going to be the number of wins they are going to get. If Luka can lead the the Mavericks, let me say number 3 seed, because
in the West,
can get them, let me say 3rd seed in the West, he might probably have a shout. And how important are those his points? How important are they
at the end of the day?
Yes, at the end of the day.
That makes sense.
I think it's safe to say Embiid and Nikola.
Nicola, I really can't argue with you guys about that one. Definitely Embiid, definitely Nicola. Nicola is the best basketballer in the whole of the world right now, and Bron definitely with what he just did right now. You can't leave out Bron. And I was looking at Stevie and Shano Sharp's top 10 players in the NBA right now. And both of them actually left out Tyrese Haliburton. And I commented, is Haliburton playing golf right now? Because I don't understand how the boy will be let out.
So if I can chip in there, Haliburton's rise reminds me of the Phoenix Suns' rise in the bubble, where they won 8 straight games, even though it wasn't enough to get them into the playoff. What Tyrese has shown us is we have a star in the making, right?
Yeah.
So his time will come. There has to be a consistency. Right now, we saw as soon as the Lakers put 2 men on him, it was difficult for him to elevate his game. So he still has some growing up to do. So he has to show us that he has different ways.
It's just this
has to show that he has different ways he can punish you.
But what we're talking about is just this season. We're looking at just this season.
It's too early because Halliburton has only shown us this in the IST. Let's see him do it for the remaining 62, 63 games.
I don't agree with you, but I think what I've seen so far.
I think it's too early. I think it's too early to put him in the top 10 in the league right now.
I definitely think so.
No. With due respect. I'm not talking about career span. I'm talking about what guys have done so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the isolation. I'm not talking about is it better than AD across AD's career?
I think if we what guys have done this season, I still think it will still be very difficult. Shea Alexander is doing a lot, and I don't think people are even praising him enough. And Anthony Edwards too is doing very, very well. There are a lot of young guys out there. By the time you start mentioning that, before you know, you would have probably mentioned 15 players. It's a very competitive league.
Tyrese Maxey has elevated.
That's the second person I would have mentioned so far this season. The both Tyrese, I don't know how, and I'm sorry to say it.
And
I don't know how you take a top 10 so far this season.
The Phoenix Suns might not have been performing very well. But KD has done fantastically well this season. A lot of the big guns have done well.
Okay, Olali, let's go at it. Let's hear your top 10 so far this season. And don't talk about career so far this season.
Okay. At least let's start from those the MVP guys.
MVP guys, yeah. So we mentioned Embiid. We mentioned Nikola Jokic and Bron,
Giannis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
KD.
Luka,
yeah.
Shea Alexander.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
JC Tatum.
Jaylen
Brown. In fact, I can mention the 3 Celtic guys.
MVP voting.
JC Tatum. I won't put Jaylen Brown anyways, but go ahead. Jaylen Brown. 9.
Jaylen Brown. So you have how many already?
9.
You have 9 already.
And you not mentioned KD anyways, just so you know.
I've not even mentioned KD. You can
10.
see where I'm coming from. And there's this guy in what do you call it? In Orlando Magic. Their main guy, Pablo Bachero, what's his name?
Yeah,
Bachero. Yeah, but Olale, it's subjective.
Are they not second in the Eastern Conference? Magic are second in Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it's subjective. I agree with you. I agree with you.
You understand?
I agree with you. I won't put Anthony Edwards ahead of Tyrese Maxey or Tyrese at the bottom.
Oh no, definitely you have to.
I would personally. I won't put Olali mentioned someone else. Shea Alexander ahead of them. Bachero was not even on Olali's top 10.
Debo, you need to go and see what Oklahoma City Thunders are doing.
I
watch them like I watch their games, not keenly, but I watch their games.
I think we are being carried away by this in-season tournament performance. And the funniest thing is not just this in-season. I made a post on News Instanta before the start of this season about Tyrese Halliburton, what his projections are, what his values are, and stuff. So I picked an interest in him, and I started following him basically because of that. Like, okay, this is a level-headed kid that is from a single mother, loves his mother, does this. Okay, how does that translate? We can all agree that the rookie of the season is looking like a one-man, what do you call it, as at now?
What match should I? What match
Yeah,
should
it's a
I?
hungry.
Definitely. But it's still a long shot, anyways. But if
Of
this
course,
if
it's a long
Saturday
shot.
Sports, if Saturday Sports keep playing the way they are playing, Wemby will not be winning the most definitely. Because at the end of the day, you still have to look at the numbers. And if the numbers are not adding up, I don't know how you want to beat the record
The
again.
numbers and the position, they are currently
Yeah,
probably the worst
they
team
are
in
the
the league.
last. Yeah, they're the worst league in the league. So it's not
So
adding
you
up.
can't.
It's not
It's
adding up.
difficult to give what do you call it, a rookie of the year
Okay,
to a
okay,
player that
okay.
is worst team in the league.
Funny enough, I was not going to say this, but it just came to my head, and actually, you're the one I'm going to ask this question. Um, Shaq, when Wemby came into the league, Shaq was like, I think he was talking to
That
Barkley.
is Bobo.
Yeah, he's just a bobo.
I think that was
when,
disrespectful on the part of Shaq. I
when,
think he's more than
Wemby,
a
when,
Bobo.
Wemby is just a bobo, and I'm like, what? You
No,
gotta
no,
be
no.
kidding me.
Wemby is not Bobo. I think it's more than that. Uh, I just think, what do you call it? The manager, their coach, what's the name of this veteran?
Greg.
Greg
Greg is
Popovich.
just trying to manage expectation, trying to manage his minutes and focus.
I protect him.
I think he has the bigger picture in front of him. He's not really interested about the early season. Like, I'll make reference to after that second game against the Suns,
Mhm.
where they really played him like, okay, you are our guy.
The
Give
guy.
him the ball,
Yeah.
let him get the mismatch. And I think he had a 20 points in their last game against the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
20
the
points, 20
youngest.
rebounds.
Yeah, yeah.
I think after
Youngest
that
in the
game,
history of NBA.
what the
Yeah.
next game against the Raptors, I think it was a deliberate thing on the part of Greg.
Popovich.
Even when he had a mismatch, the team they were not looking for him.
Mm.
So I just think it's trying to manage the
The
guy. He
expectations
has
and
a lot
whatnot.
he still has a
To
lot to
learn.
learn rather than just being the focus of the team now, scoring 20 something point and so on. I think it's just a deliberate act on the part of we might see him exploding in the second half of the season,
Mhm.
but I think Greg knows what he's doing about him.
Yeah, definitely. You have to give him that. Kachi, last one before we go. I know you always have a shout out to do, so you probably have a shout out to do too as well today.
No, no, no shout out this time around, except except to give a big shout out to Everton. Managing to do this to both Newcastle and to
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Two, two small teams.
They are not playing as if they had points docked. They've not put their head down. Also, special shout out to Alex Iwobi, who got 2 goals in 2 games, which is something he was missing.
3 goals in 2 games. 3 goals in 2 games, please.
3 goals in 2 games. Yeah, thanks for correcting me. 3 goals in 2 games, which is something that was critically missing from his game. Adding goals to as end results now. Let's see what that does for his confidence. Even though all these boys, they play so well for their clubs, but they come here, there must be something in the Nigerian or African air that disturbs them. But shout out deservedly.
I think I like your shout outs. It makes sense. I think Everton has probably looked. They are very difficult to play against. They are really looking like a Sean Dykes team now.
Yeah,
I think the 10-point reduction has taken a lot of shine away from the good work they've done. And you have to give them. They've not really crumbled since then. They've gotten 2 good wins, probably a terrible loss against United. And to the Iwobi story, I think Iwobi as a player, I think he added some certain things to his game in Everton. You could see him playing a little bit deeper. He's more involved about a build up. It's not just that winger that you expect him to do, which I think is settling down gradually or better at what do you call it at Fulham. I probably just want the boy to succeed because I think he has more. He's more
To offer.
talented than what we've seen so far. I hope he could take that career to the next level at Fulham.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Alade. Thank you very much, Kachi. That's the wrap up the show today. We'll see you again next week. It's still 60 minutes of news and sport. Although today is 79 minutes of news and sport. But we'll see you again next week. And my name does not change, and it wouldn't change. Catch us on YouTube if you want to. And if you want to be part of the game, we're here for you.